Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to show you real quick the mistakes that happen when you don't prepare your vehicle to get yourself a good paint job. Let's begin. The first mistake, when you remove pieces from the vehicle, this is what happens. Everything underneath stays that color, which is not professional. Another thing, number two, when you don't tape up real well or don't remove it, this is what starts happening. The paint starts peeling from those areas. You can see it right there. If you can remove it, just remove it. Third mistake, when you don't use adhesion promoter on plastic, that is what happens. It starts peeling. I can peel it with my nail. And right there you can see they didn't remove it, and this is starting to peel also. Fourth, when you're painting chrome, you also need to use adhesion promoter and sand it down. This doesn't seem that it's sanded, they just painted it on top of it, which that's gonna occur. Number five, this is a result of not preparing it correctly. Okay, so we don't know what they did. Maybe they didn't use the right sealer, maybe they didn't add primer, but this is what happens when it's not prepared correctly or using cheap materials. Another thing, on these windows, if you don't want to remove them, which I'm not going to remove this, I am going to tape it up, but if you don't tape it up right or correctly, this is what happens. I'm going to show you when I start taping everything up. I'm going to show you how you do it in order for you not to get this type of mistake. Let me just show you around the truck so that you can see it. So this is it. This is the truck that's gonna get that pearl paint job. Let's make this truck look nice. Now I am gonna be sanding it down. When I was sanding the truck, I noticed that this was single stage paint. There's some good and some bad about that. The good is that it's gonna sand real easy. The bad is that it's gonna clog up my sandpaper real quick. Why? Because it does not have clear coat. But we need to remove all this paint because this wasn't sprayed the way it's supposed to be sprayed. I could use paint remover, but I am not going to do that. I'm going to sand it down to the factory paint, which is white. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to show you how I'm going to sand it. But first, find all the dents. That's the first thing you need to do. Let's go ahead. I already located all the dents to this pickup truck. So that's what I'm going to be tackling first. You need to tackle the dents first before starting to sand. Reason being is that if you start sanding, you're going to lose the dents. You're not going to know where they're at. So first of all, what I recommend, locate all the dents, start fixing those first. Real quick, I'm going to give you a glimpse as to what I need to do to the entire truck. This is the tailgate. It's been sanded all the way to the factory paint, and there's a lot of bare metal. Yes, I am going to be applying some direct to metal primer but this is what needs to be done to the entire truck. There was a couple of dents here that have been fixed. All I need to do is just spray some primer on it, but that's what's going to be needed to be done to the entire truck. This is the other side. There's some couple of dents. All these decals are going to be removed. There's a big dent right there. It's a couple of dents. This door has a lot of body filler here that I'm going to have to fix. So that's it. These are all the dents that the truck has. Let's start repairing them. I went ahead and removed the fender flares so that I can start addressing those dents, but let me show you on the other side. This is how bad this truck was painted, guys. Whoever did this paint job did not, he took out the dent. I believe this was this truck was hit to this side, so he took out the dent. He did not put body filler. He did not straighten it out. It's all crooked and it's all rusted. This part, when I removed this piece, this was all torn. It was covered by that little fender flare that it had here. I needed to remove it because it wasn't aligned perfect. So just be aware who you take your vehicle to get painted with. So I talked to the owner. He had purchased the truck as is, so he didn't know about this. He is gonna replace the fender. He's better off replacing it so that everything can be aligned. This I'll be able to fix. You saw the other side. So let's just continue, start repairing these dents. Let's begin. I'm gonna show you how to fix these kind of dents. These are all like little dents, door ding type dents. So there's no need to pull the dent because you can hardly tell, but it is there and it is gonna show if you paint it over. First of all, how I do it, I get myself my angle grinder with 36 grit sandpaper, sand around it, and then I get my 80 grit, sand around the area. Why I get that? Because I need that body filler to feather out. Let me show you. There's the sanding. This is where the dent is, right there where my finger is. So I did about 2 inches, an inch or 2 inches away. And now I'm gonna get myself the 80 grit with the DA, sand all the way around. There you go. I roughed up the surrounding area with 80 grit and we're good to go. The dent is right there. This is still rough. Now we can start applying that body filler. Let me apply the body filler. I already did that to all the dents that this side of the truck has. There you go. So I'm gonna prepare my body filler, start applying the body filler to everything. There's the first coat of body filler, and I think with one coat body filler will do it. I'll start sanding it so that I can just see if it's gonna need a little bit more, but I think that'll do it. While I wait for this body filler to dry up completely, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start sanding the gray off of this pickup truck. I'm gonna get myself some 80 grit and just go to town and sand it down. As you can see, It's being removed quite nicely, but this is going to take some time. So let me fast forward until I remove the entire paint from this fender. Then I'll come back and I'll show you how I'm going to fix this dent. Let's start fixing this dent. Everything has been sanded, and I kind of went into a groove and started sanding everything else, but let's go back and fix this dent. Let me show you how to do it. I'm gonna get 80 grit sandpaper in this block right here. These blocks, you can get them at Limeline. I'll leave the information in the description below. Real nice blocks. You can use your DA sanding discs, and they're Velcro, and you can just stick them on, and they do a real nice job blocking these this little door dings. Remember to always go in a cross pattern motion and just start blocking it. All right, after finished blocking, this is what I mean about feathering. You see this area? Perfect. So this dent is ready. Nice, smooth. Now you can put some glazing putty on top of it just to cover all the scratches from the 80 grit, and you'll be good. So that is the exact same way I'm gonna be doing these. Just block sanding them and get them ready for that primer. I'm also gonna be sanding the whole area, make it white, removing all this gray paint off. So I'll bring you back once all this area is completed.
Much later.
And after many hours of sanding, everything has been sanded. All the gray, the only thing, it's the top. I have not done that, but everything else, this fender has been removed because we're gonna put a brand new fender. So there you go. This door was removed. I'll show you right now the reason why, but all the dents have been fixed, and everything all the gray has been eliminated from this truck. I am gonna move the bed a little bit so that I can reach all that, and in between there we're gonna be removing these this antenna, but that's it. That is it. Let me show you the epoxy primer that I'm gonna be applying to this truck. This is the epoxy primer that I'm gonna be applying to this truck. This is DTM, direct to metal primer. It's a 1-to-1, so this kit will make 2 gallons of that epoxy primer. After that, I'll be applying this polyester primer surfacer so that I can block the whole truck and make this truck look nice. This is a problem. The door had a bunch of body filler which wasn't applied correctly. So I'm going to be removing the body filler, applying my own body filler, and straighten everything out so that I can reinstall the door for that epoxy primer. The entire truck has been stripped down from that gray that it had, except the top. I'm going to do that later. I wanted to get all this bare metal into epoxy. That's what we're going to be spraying. I'm going to be showing you how to apply the epoxy primer. The truck has been cleaned. It has been wax and grease removed. So it's ready. It's ready to go. As you can see right there. Before I even start, I want to say thank you. I did put on my community post that I was thinking of quitting YouTube, but I see that a lot of you have been getting tips and being helped out by my channel. I don't want to do that to you, so I am going to continue making videos, guys. Just support the channel. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, anybody that you know might like auto painting. Tell them to subscribe, hit that like button, and let's just continue. We are a family, and let's just keep on learning. There's going to be a lot more. This is going to be a pearl paint job, a 3-stage pearl paint job. There is going to be a lowrider that I'm going to be painting. There is going to be another car that's going to be, I'm going to be cutting fenders. It's going to be a wide body car. There's a lot of stuff that's coming up that I have lined up. So just keep with me, and I really appreciate you guys. And let's just begin with this truck. The epoxy primer I'm going to be spraying, it's going to be from Eurochem. It's a DTM primer, so it is direct to metal primer, epoxy primer. It's 1-to-1. So it has the activator and the primer itself. The gun I'm going to be using, it's a Z gun from No Name. It does have a 1.4 tip. You need to have a 1.3, 4, or 5 to spray this epoxy primer. All right, and the reason I am spraying it, there's a lot of bare metal. There is a lot of bare metal in this truck that needs to get covered. I don't want surface rust to start coming out. Then we're gonna have a problem. So I do need to start applying it. So let me show you how to apply it real quick, guys. Also, I want to thank Brushstroke Z-Man for sending me this Iowa plate that I don't have, but this is not it. This is what he did. This is freaking awesome. Z-Man, thank you very much, man. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Really appreciate it, brother. All right, the epoxy primer has been applied. I applied 2 coats, that's all it needs. Actually, it only needs 1, but just applied 2. I waited 15 minutes. in between each coat. Now, before I start applying the primer surfacer, I need to wait about 2 hours so that this epoxy primer can dry. I cannot apply it right after. It's not gonna work. So you need to wait 2 hours to 3 hours before applying the primer surfacer. That's for the Hurricane brand. Okay, each brand has its own instructions, but for the Hurricane, that's what it's required. So I'm just gonna wait 2 hours, 3 hours. I'll come back whenever I start applying that primer. It's been 2 hours and a half, so it's ready. Now I'm gonna wipe it down with a tack cloth, just making sure that all the surface is clean, and start applying, mixing actually, the polyurethane primer surfacer. This is mix 411. So let me just mix it up. The gun I'm gonna be using, it's from Avalon, and it's 2.0 tip. That's the needle nozzle combination. Let's just mix it up, start applying it. There's the first coat of primer surfacer. I'm gonna wait about 15 minutes in between each coat. I'm gonna apply 2 more coats, which is gonna be 3 coats. That's perfect for blocking. Now, if you have a vehicle, or if you wanna take a vehicle to bare metal, this is the actual process you need to do before painting. You do need to apply epoxy primer. You do need to apply a primer surfacer. If you bring it down to bare metal, the reason I did this is because I had a lot of bare metal on this vehicle. But there it is. Let me just apply 2 more coats and I'll bring you back. Here we go. 3 coats of that primer surfacer. Body is straight. Came out real nice. Actually, the truck looks a lot better like this than that gray color that it had. Now, this particular primer surfacer, I like to wait 3 days for it to dry completely. That's my preference. Hurricane does say that in about an hour you can start sanding, but I just rather wait. I wait 3 days. I want this primer surfacer to dry completely, and if it's going to shrink. I've never had issues with primers shrinking that much. They do shrink. Every single primer shrinks, but that's the reason I allow it 3 days. The top has been scraped down. All the gray has been removed, and it's ready to start painting. Now, why am I painting the top first? Because I don't want to be climbing whenever I start painting the bottom portion of the truck. I don't want to be climbing and coming down, so I rather just paint the top. It does have a seam here. I removed it, so that's going to be divided whenever I paint the bottom. So that's the reason I'm going to be doing that. Let's just get to it. It's going to be a 3-stage pearl. Let's just begin. The gun I'm going to be using, it's a 1.3 tip. It's a Welcome Carbonio 360 Light with 1.3 tip, like I mentioned. And I am going to be using the PPS cups. All these products, you can find them in the description below. Let's get to it. It's going to be sealer first. The sealer has been sprayed, 1 coat, that's all it needs. Now, I don't know if you guys seen the new painting booth. I removed the compressor, turned it around, put it on the other side. I installed more lights, so hopefully it's a lot brighter for you guys and for me. But we're gonna let this set for about 15 minutes. Then come back, use a tack rag, clean it up, start applying that first coat of base. This is going to be the base. This is the base color for that pearl. It's Starfire White base coat, step 1. The pearl, it's a 3-stage, guys. It's going to be the base, then the pearl, then the clear. All right, so something a little bit different for you guys. It's almost like spraying candies, but in pearl. 15 minutes have passed. I already tack ragged it, and look at all the mess it picked up. So it's a real good idea to use a tack rag in between each coat of base. The first coat of base have been applied. I'm going to apply 3 coats. Now, I forgot to mention how I did it on the molding. I use this trim tape. This is what I use to lift up the molding so that the paint can go inside. Let me show you how it works. It's a strip of tape with some plastic. Let me tear one piece. This is all it is. This part is plastic, hard plastic, and the white is where the sticky tape is. So what you do, you put this plastic on the back of the molding, remove the white paper, and just pull it. and it'll lift the molding, and just tape it up and just keep on going. I tore a piece. They come in sections. You can use as much as you want, and just it'll lift up that molding. That's how this thing works. Real nice. I'll leave the information in the description. So let me just spray the other 2 coats, then I'll come back and show you the pearl. The 3 coats of base have been applied. Now I'm gonna wait about 15 minutes. I've been waiting 15 minutes in between each coat, but I'm gonna wait another 15 minutes, come back, start mixing this pearl. This is step number 2, white pearl mid coat. Let me mix it up, pour it in the cup, put it in the gun, start spraying. This pearl is mixed 2 to 1. 2 parts of the pearl, 1 part of the reducer. I am going to be using slow because it's about 95 degrees in here. So slow reducer will be the best. Here's the pearl, guys. Now you got to mix it because it settles to the bottom. Just mix it up real well. Make sure all the bottom, the pearl from the bottom just mixes right, and put it in the cup. There it is. The pearl has been mixed with the reducer, 2 to 1. Let me pour it in the cup. Start spraying. I did show the customer 2 samples. One of them had 2 coats of pearl. The other one had 4 coats of pearl. He decided to go with the 4 coats, so we're going to be applying 4 coats of pearl on the top. That is one of the reasons I like to spray the top first, because if I am doing this, painting everything at the same time, and I'm moving the ladder to one side or another, I'm gonna scratch that vehicle with fresh paint. So that's one of the reasons. The first coat of pearl has been applied. Let me apply 3 more, and I'll bring you back once the 3rd coat has been applied. The 4th coat, I'm sorry, has been applied, so that you can see it. But yes, that's one of the reasons I do this separate. There it is, 4 coats of pearl. Let's start mixing that clear so we can start applying it. The clear I'm going to be applying is American Icon C820 Euro Clear with medium activator. I should be using slow, but I don't have slow right now. But I'll be using medium activator. It'll work. I'm going to be applying 4 coats because it's the top. I'm going to apply 4 coats to the top and 4 coats to the hood also. So let's just mix it up. This is mixed 2 to 1, and spray it. The gun I'm going to be using, it's a Welcome Carbonio 360 Light clear gun, but with a 1.2 tip MP air cap. There you go. 4 coats of clear. Now I'm gonna let it dry so that I can start blocking this primer right here and finish up the truck. Here we go, let's get started. First of all, the truck has been wax and grease removed and it has been finished in 400 grit wet sand. So I did wet sand the entire truck in 400 grit after that final sanding that I did blocking. So everything's masked off, everything has been cleaned. So let's just get started. Let's start applying that sealer. I had a couple of questions to show the masking. Well, I actually finished like around 1 in the morning masking this truck and I didn't have the energy to record. I'm sorry about that, but it's just basic masking. There's nothing to it. Everything has been covered, all the windows. This was done back masking, meaning that the tape, I placed it underneath, just covering and taping up the plastic. That's basically it. There's no tricks to it. So let's just get to it. The back window, I did put tape and I just cut it. I was gonna do that trim tape that I showed you guys, but I ran out. So this will work, trust me. Everything has been sanded correctly, so this is not gonna peel. The bed, I just covered it. It's rhino lined anyways. It does have a rhino lining, so no problem with that. So let's just get to it. The sealer has been applied. You only need one. Also, as you noticed, I skipped around. I didn't show you the entire footage. I don't want you to just watch me do it in real time. It's gonna take a while, but there it is. It's been applied. Now I'm gonna let it set for about 15 minutes, then come back, start applying the base. The base is gonna be just white, and I'm gonna apply 3 coats. All right, this is the first coat of base. I'm gonna apply 3 coats, so I'm just gonna wait 15 minutes in between each coat. I'll bring you back whenever I apply the 3 coats so that I can show you how the pearl is gonna be applied. All 3 coats of the color has been applied. Now I'm gonna wait 15 minutes so that it can dry, come back, use a tack rag, clean it up, just to make sure that everything is clean. Then we can start applying that pearl. Let me start mixing that pearl. Let me show you how it's going to be sprayed. Here's the pearl. Now make sure that you stir it up real good. All this is at the bottom. The pearl kind of settles to the bottom, so just mix it up, making sure that everything is lifted from the bottom and mixed. So let me just mix it up, then we can start pouring it in the cup. I got my pearl in the gun. So the pearl, guys, it's the way you apply it, it's almost exactly the same way you apply candy paint. You got to go from one side all the way to the other side of the vehicle. Do not stop or you're gonna have blotchiness on the pearl. So you got to go all the way straight. Just look at the way I'm doing it, and it's gonna be a 50% overlap on the pearl. There's the first coat. I need 3 more coats so it can be 4. But as you saw, I went all the way straight. Now you're gonna say, well, you stopped here at the bed. Yeah, because this is separated. but as long as you continue the same way, you won't have any difference. So let me just wait 15 minutes. I've been waiting 15 minutes on this paint job, guys. So let me wait 15 minutes, apply 3 more coats of that pearl. I'll bring you back once the pearl has been applied. The 4 coats of pearl have been applied. Now just gonna wait 15 minutes for it to dry, come back, start applying that clear. I'm gonna be applying 3 coats of clear, 4 coats of clear on the hood. But there it is. The clear I'm going to be applying is the American Icon C820 Euro Clear with medium activator. I should be applying slow activator, but I do not have some. I did contact the spray gunner. He was sold out of this clear. So we do what we can do. Let's do it with the medium. Here we go, guys, after the 4 coats of clear and it's been dried. Here it is. Hope you can see the pearl. Came out real nice. There you go. Take it to the other side. Real nice. All I need is the fender flares, which I'm gonna do next. Also the bumper cover, and the handles are gonna be painted matte black. The mirrors are gonna be painted matte black. All this we're gonna have to put it back, but it looks good. Looks real good. This is the inside of the cab, the inside of the door jambs. We're going to be painting them. You're going to say, why didn't you paint that first? Well, I wanted to get the exterior painted as soon as possible. So I'm just going to show you how to do it whenever you have the outside painted already. First of all, whenever I painted the cab, I did remove the seals and everything from the doors. So the white paint did go inside. As you can see, I already scuffed it down. It went inside, which is perfect. Why? Because then I got myself some fine line tape and just covered the edge right there. You can see the fine line tape right there. I covered it all the way around so that when I start sanding all this, that's going to be already done. So when I remove it, you're not even going to notice that it's been painted separate. That's the way to do it. I did take some yellow tape, automotive tape, and just covered it up, but did leave the fine line tape noticeable just a little, and that's it. That's the way you do it. There's no trick to it. There's nothing that is gonna tell somebody that's been painted separate. This is the other side right there. As you can see the fine line tape right there and the yellow automotive tape. Perfect. All the rest of the vehicle is covered. Now there is a lot of bare metal where I sanded the gray off. I tried to get as much as possible off. This wasn't able to come off, so I just scuffed it down, feather edged it. I am gonna add direct to metal primer, epoxy primer, but you can use it as a sealer also. All you gotta do is mix it 1-to-1. You do not have to reduce it, and you can use it as a sealer. I'm just gonna apply it all over and then just wait about 20 minutes to half an hour for it to dry well. I can come back and start applying my paint. That's the way it's gonna work, and that's the way it's supposed to be done. Alright, I applied 2 coats, waiting 15 minutes in between each coat. Now, I didn't tell you guys that I was going to wait 30 minutes for it to dry. Well, I made a mistake. It's 2 hours. 2 hours for it to dry as per the manufacturer. So I'm just going to follow that. I'm going to wait for 2 hours, then come back, start applying my first coat of base. 2 hours passed. I came back. I applied the first coat of base, which is the white one. So I'm gonna wait about 15 minutes, come back, apply 2 more coats, and should be ready for that pearl. I'll bring you back once the 3rd coat of paint is applied. Alright, all 3 coats of the color, the base, has been applied. Now I'm going to be mixing the pearl. I'm just going to apply maybe 1 or 2 coats of pearl. Why? Because I don't know if you've seen cars lately that have pearl. They usually don't even apply pearl on the inside of the door jambs. Why, I have no idea, but I am gonna apply about 2 coats and that should be good. There it is. 2 coats of pearl have been applied. Now I'm just going to let it set for about 15 minutes. I've been waiting 15 minutes in between each coat of pearl. I'm going to wait 15 minutes, come back, apply the clear. Another thing, once I apply the clear, I'm going to show you how to remove that fine line tape so that you don't get a hard edge and have a perfect finish. That'll be the trick for this kind of paint job whenever the outside is already painted. Two coats of clear, that's more than enough for the inside of the door jambs. Now what you need to do, you gotta wait 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. Then you're gonna come back, you're gonna start peeling off the tape and the fine line very carefully, but there's a trick to peeling it off. Let me show you. It has been 45 minutes. Now I did unmask the entire truck already. I just put the fine line tape, as you can see right there. I did leave that. Now I'm gonna show you how to remove it. The way you're gonna do it, it's grab one of the ends and pull away. Don't pull it towards where the paint is at. You're gonna peel it off. Pull it away from the paint. Let me demonstrate. There it is. It's not gonna peel. Your new paint's not gonna peel, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm just gonna be pulling it away. But wait, there's more. I was gonna show the painting of the inside of the doors in another video, but I'll just do it now. Everything has been covered. We're good to go. Let's start spraying that sealer. Well, first I'm gonna be applying some adhesion promoter to the plastic parts. Then we can start applying that sealer to these doors. The adhesion promoter has been applied to the plastic parts. Now, real quick tip, guys. I was gonna use this gun to welcome, but it's not spraying right. I forgot to clean it from when I sprayed the door jambs. Rookie mistake, but it happens. Now I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna be using another gun. So let's just continue, all right? And clean your guns after every spray. There you go. I applied the epoxy primer. I'm using it as a sealer. So I'm gonna wait about 2 hours for it to dry completely. Come back, start applying that first coat of paint. First coat of base has been applied. Now I'm gonna wait 15 minutes in between each coat. I'm gonna apply 3 coats. I'll bring you back once I apply the 3rd coat so that I can show you how I'm gonna be spraying the pearl. Actually, here you go, 3 coats of base. Now I am gonna show you how I'm gonna spray the pearl. So let's just mix it up, start applying it real quick. The exterior of the truck has 4 coats of pearl, so I'm gonna apply 2 coats to the bumper and the grill, and these little pieces, they're exterior pieces. Then I'll come back and start applying the 3rd coat and pass to the doors. That'll be the first coat of the doors. Then I'm gonna do the 4th coat and come back to the doors. That'll be the 2 coats for the doors. The inside is 2 coats only. There it is. 2 coats of pearl on the inside of the door jambs and 4 coats of pearl on the exterior parts of the truck. So we're good. Now I'm gonna wait 15 minutes, come back and start applying that clear. This is after 2 days of drying. I already unmasked it. It's good to go. I started putting the seals back. Let me show you the doors. Here are the doors. Came out real nice. They're already dry. It's 102 in here. Let me show you. It's 102, so they're dry. But I just need to wait for tomorrow so that I can start putting all the seals back, getting it ready. But it came out real nice. Now if you guys saw this right here, the reason I didn't fix that is because it has like a bumper guard here, a metal bumper thing, and it's gonna scratch it. I know it's gonna dig into that, but I need to remove the tape and everything. But there it is. There it is. Came out real nice. And this will be it, guys. This will be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the painting of the inside of the doors. Let me put the truck back together. I actually re-cleared the lights also because they were yellow. real bad, even the fog lights. So let me just put everything back, and I'll bring you a video. And this is it, guys. This is the finished product. I still need to paint the fender flares, but there you go.